the problem, never run from that. Have fun with that. Get the W, then double back. That. Shit. Watch how I react. Fight back, stay down. Now we taking on. Got the flight plan. Promise you if anybody can, homie, I can. The right man, baby, I'm my own hype man. Yeah. Run it back, run it back. Run it back, and run it back. Run it, ooh, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. About to snap, take a photograph. Run it back like you told the friends. Run it back when I told the rhyme. I'll be back making another back. Ultra fast. I ain't with the boulder dash. Run it back, running back. Face back with the shoulder pads.
Run it back, watch your back. You think I want it cream, but I like it black. About the act and run it back. You see how I act, nothing I lack. Feel it like a fatal heart attack. I'd die for that. I don't stress about it. I think less without it. I'ma cut out anything that's in my psyche. Feeling myself high key. Running back, let me have it back. I'ma cut out anything that's in my psyche. Feeling myself high key.
Yes, like that. Told her might be right back. Oh, yes, like that. I told her might be right back.
Run it back. Told him put the money.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll see the Broncos' rangy cornerback, who has put together 32 tackles this season from his cornerback spot. It's the Broncos and the Raiders coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. It's all about divisional match. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. This taken in at the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Well, it's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is. But to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Raiders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Darnay Holmes now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Knocked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 sets, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Play action. It's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done because as it stands right now, they won't have the first round bye. But a lot of teams will tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Ready? 2nd and 9.
Ready.
Now a play fake. Lance.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Hurry.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Off of play action, here's Lance. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Play action, now it's Lance.
And his throw is incomplete.
The Raiders at 11-5 on the year. And they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Here's a quick throw out wide by Lance, complete.
Touchdown Raiders! Davante Adams with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list.
And the Raiders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Holmes returning from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to a self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Denver has the first down to play, going for 15 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
A gain of 3, second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out, because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Play action. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it will still leave him with a 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now when some kind of score was desperately needed.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 18. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
He'll buy some time right. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the 1st down. Now to add the extra point. Now before they can try the extra point, a flag comes out, and they're going to get tagged for a delay of game. And they'll accept that penalty. Another attempt now from 5 yards further back. And it is now 21-0. so that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And bulldozing his way through. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 43. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
Open man, that's Renfrow. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Ready?
On play action, Lance.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy up. Football, when you're dealing with those big bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown of this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Carlson able to put this one through. And the round is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Taking it about the 1. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Now Wilson dropping it off underneath. Here's Pirine. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
Here we go. Here we go.
And that's complete to Adams. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now an injury timeout, and that is Davante Adams, who is in some discomfort following that play. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. Now Lance wants to change him up. They get this out left. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Virgil from 4 yards out. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on first and second down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
This time they stay on the ground. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. Take it at the 37. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Here we go.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. For the left side, it's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
The kick by Carlson is good, and do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin in the AFC South in Nashville. Tennessee hosting Jacksonville. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Panthers trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it.
Only 2 quarters of football left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs. So excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. Gets it downfield to Mayer. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. The drive starts with a handoff to Pirine. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's Wilson to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Tyree Wilson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Ball start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Riley Dixon now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking on the midfield logo. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And Lance will try again on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Now Lance. Rolling to his right. Lets this go for Renfrow downfield. And this is going to be intercepted.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Jacobs. And he is not going to get through here on try number one. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the one on second and goal. Here's a quick throw right side. Touchdown! Hunter Renfrow. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Taken at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your...
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
They'll swing this out to Fournette. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Lance going to try and throw on third down here. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Alert, 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 alert.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And the Raiders have got him.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Wilson.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. It was P.J. Williams that time on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Fielded just inside the 30.
Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Maxx Crosby, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now Wilson on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Maxx Crosby in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jerry Tillery, the offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
Talk about 2 sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Off of play action, here's Lance. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run. And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game. Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Holmes returning from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, it's Wilson.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle. Taken from just outside the 30. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game well decided a long time ago.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
And that is incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Marcus Epps.
What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
So this is a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And I tell you what, Charles, this one